You cannot make up what the Dallas Cowboys are starting to do. They had a really tough season to open up the year, but ultimately made some really decent moves to strengthen the defense. But more importantly, we already know how good the offense is, right? They're one of the best in football, maybe even the best offense in football in totality. But the defense is what has really been surprising to me as of late. They've added Logan Wilson. They've added Kenny Clark. They've added Quinnen Williams. They've gotten Siobhan Revel back. They've gotten Malik Hooker. The list goes on in guys that they've added back to this lineup, right? Now, I wanted to break down some of these plays where they were able to make life terrible for Patrick Mahomes in the pocket. Right here, the offensive line is going to be in a 7-man full slide protection where essentially they're sliding off here to the right. Right, every offensive lineman, whenever you're in a full slide like this, you need at least one guy picking up the man side or he'll just be unblocked. So what they're going to do here is they're going to keep the tight end here. You know, off the play action, they're going to get the running back over, right? So essentially, because they're in a 7-man full slide protection, you only have 1, 2, 3 routes going down the field. The Cowboys do a great job clamping this thing. You get hitch, hitch, hitch. Everything is hitches. Ball should be coming out early, but everything is covered up. So he's looking. There's nothing there at all. Right? Look at Jadeveon Clowney on the far side. He does a great job. He's got a high motor. He's getting up there in age, but this is a high-end pick for a reason, man. The motor falls on the ground, never gives up on the play. Look at these guys, dude. Just hustling. And that is the one big difference of this football team is they are hustlers. End up getting a 7-yard sack there from Jadeveon Clowney, but they ended up having 30 pressures in this football game. 30 pressures on Patrick Mahomes. That is how you beat a Kansas City Chiefs team. So what we're going to do in this video is break down a ton of film. I love Donovan Ezraku. We're going to break down some of his film. But man, is this defense getting better. Before we dive in, make sure you guys do me a big time favor. Hit the like button, but also hype the video if possible. Helps out so much. And with that being said, let's dive in. And I was impressed with the way he played. And right here, we're gonna run what we call an ET, okay? An ET is essentially an edge tackle twist or stunt, where essentially you see Donovan in that 7-eye technique on the inside shoulder of the tight end. His job here is going to reach the point of attack and then go immediately for the outside shoulder of the guard. Now, Quinnen Williams is our tackle. His job here is to reach point of attack and then stun to the outside here. Now, what this does is create a little bit of confusion between this left tackle and the left guard, but also creates a little bit of a mismatch with Quinnen Williams in the tackle. Right? So off this play, let's watch it, right? So boom, goes right for the outside shoulder. Now we create the mismatch, and we get a double win opportunity. Look at Donovan. He breaks off the left guard immediately. Quinnen Williams goes right by the left tackle, and we create a pressure opportunity here for the Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. Now, ultimately, they do complete this ball, but I look at ability to create pressure on a quarterback because, yeah, you are going up against the best quarterback in the NFL, maybe even NFL history one day, in Patrick Mahomes, right? So, yeah, he will find a way to complete it. But if you're going up against maybe other quarterbacks, you're going to create one of 6 things, right? Maybe a bad throw, maybe a bad decision, maybe an interception, maybe you get the sack, maybe you get a forced fumble on the sack, or maybe you get a holding call on the offensive line. I want to see ability to get to the quarterback, and I feel like Donovan Ezraku has been doing that. 5 pressures in this game alone. Now, unfortunately, every time Donovan Ezraku got a little bit of pressure, it seemed like the Chiefs just had some big plays. But again, that comes down to just Patrick Mahomes being Patrick Mahomes. If this was a different quarterback, right? If this was Marcus Mariota, right? Or Jalen Hurts, who's not as accurate under pressure, right? I just feel like you would see a lot different outcomes. They won the game, so it doesn't really matter. But again, here's another big-time rep where he's lined up as a wide 5 technique, outside shoulder of the tackle. We're going to be just getting 1-1 matchups here to the outside. Boom, boom. They're going to slide their protection here this direction. And ultimately, Ezraku is going to use his strong arm. He's going to get to the upper chest of this right tackle. And watch how far he's able to push him back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 yards into the front side of Mahomes. Clears him outside of the pocket. We stumble a little bit here, and we miss the sack opportunity. But again, all I'm looking at is the ability to create pressure opportunities. Okay? And right here, Not only does he do it, he dominates this right tackle. Dominates him. I mean, it puts him into the dirt. Does get tripped up a little bit there by Quinn Williams. But you look at this defensive line compared to where they were, let's say, 7 weeks ago. You add Kenny Clark. You add Quinn Williams. You have Osa. You have James Houston. You have Donovan Ezeraku. I mean, Sam Williams, Davion Clowney. The list goes on and on and on. Dante Fowler, right? I love the way they've been getting pressure on the quarterback, if I'm being completely honest. In this game, guys, 28 pressures on Patrick Mahomes. 28. 28 pressures. Unbelievable. Let's keep going. Now, really quickly, before we get any further, like I said before, hit the like button, but most importantly, subscribe to the channel if you are new. It is free. It doesn't cost anything, and we will be covering Donovan Ezeraku, the Dallas Cowboys throughout the entirety of the year. On my main channel, we'll probably cover more of the defense and offense as a whole, but I do want to cover individual players on this channel, so expect this week, Donovan Ezeraku, obviously posting that now, maybe Quinn Williams, but also I want to look at Siobhan Revo as well. So we're probably going to break down a ton of film. Let me know anyone else you want me to break down, and we'll get you guys covered. Turn on your post notifications. That way you're notified when we do post these videos. Okay, once again, Donovan Ezeraku, we can call it a 7-eye. You can call it a wide 5. He's on the inside shoulder of the tight end over here. And he's going to get a 1-1 matchup. Love this. Usually you'll see the running back chip and release. I don't think he does on this play. We're going to just maintain the one-on-one. And as we get to the outside, you're going to see his first step go to the inside. All we're trying to do is get all the weight onto the inside foot of the tackle, generating leverage to the outside shoulder, okay? So again, all the weight is on that inside foot, which is huge. That's exactly what we wanted to do. We wanted to manipulate him. Boom. As we get to the outside, we kind of just zoom his hands to the inside and then break through the backfield to get pressure on Patrick Mahomes. And so I look for pressure. Can we generate pressure? And if you look at the Dallas Cowboys from this season so far, you're going to notice one thing pretty specifically, right? Their offense is one of the best in football. They have one of the best offenses in football. Defensively, to start the season, they were terrible. And right now, they are currently ranking 31st in points allowed per game. Did not get any better this week. They allowed 28 points, but guess what? They came away with the W because the offense was so good. They did what they needed to do defensively, okay? Definitely need to be better. But when you go down here, 19th in QB sack percentage, right? They only had 3 sacks versus Kansas City. But again, can we apply pressure? When you apply pressure, you force interceptions. That number needs to go up. Again, need to generate more pressure. But I think this is improving now that they have Quinn Williams, right? And hopefully it can continue to go up because this offense has the making of a championship offense. The defense needs to catch up. And I think they've made the right moves to hopefully increase production. Monday Night Football is officially here. We got Packers, we got Eagles. Should be a really good game. At least in my opinion, it's got that potential. Now, I'm having so much fun on the Sleeper app. I can possibly over 1,000x my money every single day on this app, and it has been so much fun so far. And I kind of wanted to share you some of my picks before we do so. Now, you guys can see them. But if you use my promo code DUBS, you see it right here, you are going to get a 100% match deposit up to $100, which means if you put in $100, they're going to give you $100. If you put in 50, they'll give you 50, right? It is a steal, I would do it just for that. Now, take a look at my picks. I'm going Saquon Barkley, more than 50 rushing yards. A.J. Brown, more than 40 receiving yards. Jalen Hurts, at least 1 touchdown. Jordan Love, more than 200 passing yards. And Romeo Doubs, more than 40 receiving yards. It's all lower than you may think, and I think it's safe. 30 to win 63. Not too crazy, not too wild. Let me know what you guys are doing for tonight. Are you going big? Are you staying safe? Let me know, and let's get back to the video. Another really solid rep between Quinn Williams and Donovan Ezeraku off this right side of the defensive line. They're going to kind of be in that scat protection where they're going to slide their offensive line. You see the center keeping his hand there just in case we break to the inside. We'll know if he kind of does. You get kind of one-on-ones there. But more importantly, one-on-ones here to the outside. Now, Quinn Williams does a great job as he reaches the point of attack. Watch how far he is able to drive this guy back. What was that? 3, 4, 5 yards into the front side of Patrick Mahomes. Same thing with Donovan Ezeraku. Once he engages, you're going to see him lower his center of gravity, get to the outside shoulder of the tackle, hook underneath the arm. Once we get this low, we understand that these tackles just tend to be a little bit too big, where they can't reestablish under pat level leverage because they're just too big. That's why you lower your center of gravity. That's why you bend off the edge. But look at him drive through. Again, we force a ton of pressure on Mahomes and forces a terrible throw that ultimately was almost a pick. Almost even a pick six by the defense. Great job once again from this defensive line. I was very impressed. Again, you don't just luckily have 30 pressures in a game. They did it, and they did it well, man. Let's go. Another ET right here. Edge tackle stunt where our edge is going to immediately break through to the outside shoulder of the guard as we reach the point of attack and kind of swoop or stun over through that left side with Quinnen Williams. Again, the utilization of Quinnen Williams has been amazing so far in this defense, and I feel like they're doing a great job scheming him up pass rush reps to get to the backfield. Again, great job. Boom. We demoralized that guard. Tackle is trying to switch over, is late to understand the assignment here. And then on the opposite side, we're going to just kind of loop around as well with Dante Fowler. He's got a little bit more speed to him. So as Quinnen kind of cleans up, look at 53, immediately jumps back up. Boom, boom. Dante's going to start coming over from this direction. Right? But great job initiating the pressure. Dante Fowler comes out of nowhere. Look at the speed, the hustle. Right? He pump fakes, gets him down on the ground. We're going to get a 3-yard sack on this play. Great job, man. Very proud about this defense. I thought they were amazing. I thought they did exactly what they needed to do. We saw the Eagles kind of give you a blueprint of how to beat this team in the Super Bowl, and you just needed pressure, pressure, pressure. Force that ball to come out early. Don't allow them to go through a full field read, and essentially that's what they were able to do in this game. They made it a living nightmare for poor Patrick Mahomes, and they came in with a big win. Now they have to continue to stack these wins going forward, and it's going to start with applying pressure on the quarterback. Can they continue this? Can they keep doing it? We'll see. Make sure you guys do me that big favor of hitting the like button, subscribing to the channel if you haven't already done so, turning on your post notifications. Let me know who or what you want me to break down next. I want to kind of break down all right, Revel, you got DeMarvin on here. Who do you want me to break down? Let me know as an individual, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.